Hey guys, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Hey, today is part 2 of the FISE online competition series. Last time was Roller Park, now we're taking it to the streets, and I'm going to share with you guys some of my favorite edits from this opening round. So, taking a look at the competition format, the way this works is all of the edits are submitted. There's a qualification procedure. The top 8 from the men's pro division advance to the finals, where they'll be put in a head-to-head bracket, and the top 4 from the amateur division will be placed head-to-head in a bracket with prizes on the line. Now, there's also women's division. I'm going to be covering them at a later date. Today, we're just focusing on the men's, but there were a ton of phenomenal edits. So, without further ado, let's get into some of my favorites. And again, these are just my opinions. I encourage you guys to go back and watch them all, because a lot of them are amazing. All right, these are in no particular order, but first one of my top 8 in the men's pro division is Sam Crofts. And he's starting out with a big wall ride here. He's got really smooth style. And again, this competition is being judged on the skill level of the tricks, the diversity of tricks, the filming and the editing techniques. I love this massive gap over the double set. Good diversity in this edit. Interesting trick there. Got the H block on the top. Little disaster out ledge action. And I love this. Outspin tricks are the best. And when you do outspin X, going back into top acid. Cool camera shot here through the rails down at the bottom. Going transfer on this weird curvy rail. Looking pretty deadly there, Sam. It's a strong edit. It's one of my top 8. That one's going, for me anyway, into the finals position. I'm not a judge, but if I were, that one's going in. Next up, we've got Nicolas Cervey, and he's a guy that needs no introduction. He absolutely kills competitions that he enters. In this edit, though, we're seeing him in the streets, and that's somewhere where I don't typically see his skating. Liking the fish brain. Little transfer action there. A drop. I'm really digging those white Razor SLs too. I'm in need of new Razors, and so I can totally appreciate that. He makes them look really good. Like the 5 out here on the alley-oop. Not really sure about this music. It's pretty abrasive and edgy. But the skating's pretty good. Big 180 over a double set. And he threw in some falls here at the bottom, and it looks like he got his knee pretty bad. You never want to see that, especially when they're out filming for a profile. But a pretty strong edit from Nicolas. Maybe not his strongest skating that I've seen from him, because I know what he's capable of, and maybe the injury is part of it. But still some good tricks there in that edit. Next up is a skater that I don't really know much about. His name is Bukowski. And there's some cool tricks in here, some good filming too. Like, I like this top angle, this like wall ride, almost flat spin type of trick. Loving this acid line too. The true spin negative acid. Like, that's not a trick that I see very many people do. So props on that one. It's a true spin soul. Nicely done. I like the catch on that underbar rail too when he almost fell. That was scary. Oh, we're building our own little run up here. It's always good to have a piece of plywood in the car for that very purpose. And this trick is really cool. It's not often you see a street 900, and he just hucks that thing. Laced it. So, you know, some unique skating in that one. Again, he's relatively unknown to me, but I really appreciated the tricks that he brought to the table. So that one's going into my top 8. Next up is Nils Janssen, and he needs no introduction. He's very well known throughout the rollerblading community. And this edit's probably my pick for the best in round 1. Now, this isn't the final edit that these skaters will be making when they move on to the next round. But look at that switch up into the true spin. And this long back royale down this tiny ledge. So much speed, super scary. The filming of this is top notch. Just everything about it is on point. Good use of slow-mo. Jumping over the ledge. Nicely done. Check out this big 180. Boom. Laces it flawlessly. Transfer over. Mach 5 soul grind. I like seeing it. Now let's end things with a big old disaster on a down rail. Excellent section, great filming, good skating, and I wouldn't expect anything less from Nils. Nils knows what he's doing. He's a consummate professional, and I hope he makes it on to the next round because I want to see what comes next. All right, next on my top 8 for the Pro Division is Yuto Guto, and he is an amazing skater. He doesn't need that introduction from me here, but very stylish, and I think that's what I think of when I think of Yuto. Is he's just always in the right position. His body language just screams professionalism. That 5 out there. Throwing in the little casual Luke hand grind. And it's those little details I think that really make him stand out for me. True spin fish on the wall rail. Some unconventional editing style here with the picture-in-picture, but I think that's pretty cool. It sets it apart as unique. I think out of all the edits, this one would probably be my second favorite in the Pro Division. And again, I'm hoping Yuto moves on to the next round because I know what he's capable of. I love watching him skate, and I want to see what he does next. Really cool back fast slide there to end things. Excellent job, Yuto. Keep up the good skating. And again, I hope that we can see you in the finals and, you know, see what comes next. All right, I apologize for the name on this one. I believe it's Nicolas Arrow. I think it's French. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Some pretty cool skating here, though. And then the negative acid, the true spin acid. Nice ledge lines. Sure, why not true topside, too, while we're at it. Again, I may be a little bit biased here, but I love those Razor white navy or white SLs. They're so good. So the only edit that I saw with a forward stair bash coming off a rail, so it has that going for it. This is probably my favorite trick in this one. Little like fast plant to fish. You know, it's not often you see an alley-oop Machio down a long ledge like that, so that's pretty cool. And to wrap things up, the big negative acid going down a down ledge. I mean, it ends a little abruptly, but there's some good stuff happening in that edit, and I like giving a shout out to those that are pushing themselves and are relatively unknown to, you know, many of us around the world. So, Nicolas, I really liked your edit there. Keep it up, man. You're making it into my top 8. All right, these last two, I had to drop the music for copyright purposes, but this is Diego, and I really love the editing on this. It's so good, and the tricks are really top-notch, too. He's another skater that is relatively unknown to me. I've actually never heard of him before, but he kills it, and he's got some good tricks happening here. This little wall ride line is pretty cool. And this rail he really destroys. He's able to spin in. We sometimes over here call that a true spin royale or true spin unity. I know that's controversial, that H-block tricks shouldn't be true spin, but either way, it's a 270 in the hard way, and that's pretty cool. Nice switch up on the rail there. And this ledge looks amazing, and this camera shot with the panning down, and then the transition cutaway to this ledge, amazing. So the editing, the filming on this are some of the best that I've seen. The level of tricks and the caliber of skating is definitely top-notch. So Diego is definitely in my top 8. He's one that I want to see advance to the finals for sure, because I want to see more of what he's capable of. I think that's one of the cool things about a competition like this is people can get exposure that maybe don't have that mainstream exposure to begin with. So excellent work, Diego. And rounding out my top 8 is another name that I'm probably going to mispronounce. I think it's Savvasania. But already starting off with the big drop kink. That's a cool way to start off your edit if you're going to be, you know, showcasing skills, get some dangerous stuff out there. I really like his crouch sort of style. It's really smooth, especially on this next trick that you'll see as he's ledge skating. And look at that misty flip off of a street obstacle. Definitely unconventional. You don't see a lot of that outside guys like Montre Livingston. And so that's definitely something that's cool. Got the spinning Unity cess slide. That's a favorite of mine personally. I like doing those. And so I definitely appreciate seeing other people, get those spinning cess slides. Royale, 360 Royale. And it looks like that rail has a little nub sticking out, which adds an element of danger. Really terrible run up to this rail on this 3 topsoul, but he still gets it done. And this video ends a little bit abruptly as well. But I think there's some good skating in that one too. We're going to switch over to the amateur division, and for that one I've picked my top 4, and we'll take a look at those ones. Alright, first up we have the host of Blader News, Brandon Drummond, showing us that he can get down on skates as well, not just behind the camera, but in front of it, and he's definitely got these spin tricks on lock. He's a ledge wizard. He's rocking the helmet, and I respect that, but he's very, very smooth at the tricks that he's able to do. And I gotta have respect for that right foot, left foot combo on the Machio there. Some of these ledge tricks are ridiculous. Like he's going 720 on a tiny little hip, but stringing it together into a line with another spin trick. And I know those 3 Mizus are his bread and butter, but coming out with that forward 360, just flawless. Excellent work, Brandon. That's one of my favorite tricks too. Going the 450 Unity, man, that is not a trick to play around with. So, Brandon, love watching Blader News, but I even love watching you skate more. You got to get out there more and post more content. I think we as viewers deserve to see more of your skating because it's dope. Good work, Brandon. Next up is an edit from Martin Gaiden. In all honesty, out of the amateur division, this is probably my favorite one. Really smooth switch up there, even though it was a smaller rail. And really unconventional usage of objects as we're dropping into this tiny transition off of a rail. Got some drop down tricks. And that's not an easy one either. Rewind. I think he definitely has potential in skating. Continue practicing, getting better, going bigger, going faster. Just progression, and I really like what he has so far, though. Style is good. The tricks are good. Clearly handles switch-ups. This curved kink, awesome. We'll fade out. And I want to see Martin in the next round, so they only take 4 of the amateurs to the next round for the final bracket. But I'm really hoping he makes it through because I really like his style, appreciate his trick ability. I think there was good diversity in that edit. So looking forward to seeing more from you, sir. Next up is Diego Vega. I don't really know anything about him, but there are definitely some tricks that I liked in this video. Like if you're starting off with a giant drop ledge, that's a good way to start any edit. Looks like he's out of Colombia. Fast plant true Mizu 3 out. That one was definitely cool. So much speed going around that curve. One thing I'm noticing is a lot of ledge tricks, which is okay because his ledge control is really strong. And there's a rail switch up. Ooh, I've always loved that trick. Top acid one way, true top acid the other. You gotta have that dexterity of both feet in order to pull that off successfully. Long hold on that back royale. Get a second angle, it looks like. And so, one of the things that I like about this competition series is having the amateur division, giving people the opportunity to skate and to showcase themselves. And I think it's good marketing for the sport, but it's also good for individuals to have that opportunity. Anyway, we got one more. All right, the last one that I want to showcase is a rider named Scott McDonald. And there's some very unconventional skating in this, which is why I wanted to highlight this. Like, that's the kind of switch up that I'd expect to see from Oiganinen. Here he's like gapping under something rather than over it. Well, I guess it was over too. It was both at once. So, the level of skating isn't the highest with every single one of these tricks, but the level of ingenuity, I think, is high. Like the 0 topsoul to Luke hang out. It's a really interesting way to perform that trick. You can never go wrong with the backslide. I love this spinning cess slide into acid. It was done so well. And it's this type of originality that I wanted to showcase here. Even with the up ledge going into 360 acid. Some technical tricks. Some hard, scary tricks like this drop ledge. And definitely some unusual things. And, you know, those types of variations make for an interesting edit to watch. So those were my 4 favorites in the amateur division. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Roll Minnesota. You guys were watching the FISE series. I want to make sure I pronounce that right. Some of you were commenting telling me it's not FISE, it's FISE. So the FISE series, which is now going into the next iteration of the competition. This is the street version rather than the park version. They have 2 different categories. Today is the last day for voting, so I'll leave a link in the description. If you guys watch this video and you're inspired to watch more of the edits and cast your votes, I know it would mean a lot to the community. It would mean a lot to the riders who are contributing footage and competing in this competition. But also, getting our numbers up in that way for rollerblading makes us look better as a sport to the outside world. So the better participation we have, the more it does for rollerblading as a whole. Anyway, guys, I'm Butch Lehman of Roll Minnesota, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading. We'll see you guys next time. Peace, everybody.